Hi, and welcome to this DE Blocks, today focusing on students. Knowing more about our students is a vital part of creating and running a successful class. Community college students generally, and LTCC students more specifically, offer challenges and opportunities for us as faculty members. I really do recommend you check out the longer video version of this on my YouTube site, on the training site, called Students Some Background. Get in touch with me if you have any questions. I go through quite a few realities of both local students and then statewide students in terms of some of the demographic trends and other issues out there. Essentially what I'm doing today in this block is a condensed version of this, but it's still going to be a little longer than normal in terms of our DE blocks. So many of our community college students exhibit significant socioeconomic challenges, food and housing insecurity. LTCC, through its Promise program, through the wonderful equity program, through student housing, we've tried to address all of these issues: food, transportation, housing, books, supplies, tuition. I hope we can continue to roll out more resources like this in the future, because we realize, teaching at a community college, that our students are not coming from the privileged backgrounds in society, and thus we need to be open to helping them in all these ways that really fall outside of our typical professional duties as faculty members. Many of our students also deal with significant life challenges, perhaps related to addictions, housing or food insecurity, trauma and abuse, and many other significant challenges. So this is an opportunity really to reach out to our students, connect them with our counseling staff, with student services, with wraparound services, and really get them the help that they need in terms of life challenges. Awareness and possibility for action, I think, is always key. So in our work, whether we're teaching DE or in another modality, let's really focus on what we can do to help our students as opposed to just identifying the problems out there. Demographics, in that longer video I discussed the statewide community college trends, so check that out. It's useful to note, though, some changes in our local demographics, such as increasing Latinx population, so greater and greater diversity, increasing younger or straight from high school population. We're noting that with our Promise classes. And then students with life challenges. So that's kind of a general thing. We see students who have behavioral issues or struggling with addictions or other life issues, and we need to be open to them and help them out in the ways that we can. Incredible diversity. So one of the greatest values I feel of teaching in a community college, and specifically here in South Shore, relates to all the tangible diversity reflected by our students. We should all view this diversity as a source of inspiration and possibility for teaching our content. If you have a very diverse class and you're teaching gender, guess what? You can draw on all that diversity in your class, including in a DE class, and really emphasize that diversity makes us stronger, makes us better, even if some of the social messages in society as of late do not suggest that. Academic preparation, I get many questions about whether or not community college students have or do not have effective academic preparation. My answer is always a waffling one: yes and no. Some students are amazing. Some students work at a really high level. I've seen students come through my classes that really felt like they were graduate students. I've also seen other students come through my classes with significant challenges. You just have to be open and aware of these challenges and try to customize and tailor your DE class as best you can based on challenges that student A experiences versus challenges that student B experiences. It makes for a really challenging job, but it's very important for us to do this because our students are always at the top of our list in terms of what we're trying to accomplish in our teaching. Modality context. Questions do come up about whether or not certain modalities are suited to certain students. And I generally say some of it's true. There might be a certain demographic, like older versus younger students, who are better or worse at DE education. That can be true, but there's a lot of anecdotes out there. For example, in some of my other trainings I say, don't assume that if a student is young, that student is going to be great at technology and thus will be a whiz at your DE classes. Absolutely is not the case, but we sometimes have some of those perceptions or anecdotal information, and then it becomes almost like our reality. So I would say there's a lot of questions out there in terms of modality context, but we can collectively as faculty work together, like with ISP faculty. We can have conversations about how to be more effective, because maybe there are some realities that connect types of students and the content and modality in which you're teaching those students. As I said earlier, the LTCC College Promise program launched in 2019. It provides opportunities for students that did not exist in the past. We're going to continue to roll this out, and hopefully it'll become a strategy for all students at the college, because we identify that our students have life needs that we often have to address outside of our primary teaching and work duties as faculty. At this point, please continue to your next block.